This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
I've got a lot of questions from Facebook and Instagram regarding Chris Candido and in a variety of ways. But the one common denominator of these questions was basically, if Chris were still alive, what do you think he'd be doing today? And I think they're inferring, would he be, do you think he'd be connected to the wrestling business? And if so, what do you think, what could you see him doing?
I see him would have had a nice little run the whole time Chris Benoit was there, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo, like with that type of talent, those type of wrestlers. I think he would have had a nice little run after the whole Body Done thing was over, after ECW, after TNA. But right now, I would see him being like the head trainer in the Performance Center. That's what I see, because he was probably one of the best people in the world to learn from. And there's so many guys on the scene now in like Ring of Honor, in TNA, that reach out to me on Facebook and they tell me he was my idol. I learned so much from him on Indies. He was amazing. So it's not, you know, it's a kind of a common denominator. Everybody's like saying he was such a great guy to learn from. So I can totally see him thriving in the Performance Center teaching.
I think we can.
I mean, and now he'd be 45, so he'd be a little bit older, too old, you know, for live TV, but perfect for the Performance Center.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, he had a big hand in helping train The Rock and Sean Morley and Sean Stasiak and Occam Albrecht and Mark Henry back in the day. He helped Tom Prichard in the developmental school in Stamford, Connecticut back then. So it's, you know, it wouldn't be unlikely.
So we can blame Chris on Occam Albrecht. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Akeem. Wherever you are, buddy.
Blame Tom and Chris Bull. No, blame whoever hired him.
Dr. Tom really did Dr. Tom's kind of an unsung hero in a lot of ways.
Right.
He really trained and had a hand in establishing the foundation for a lot of really big-time talents.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah, he's probably one of the best trainers there's ever been, I think. And he's one of those people you could always go up and just ask a question to and learn from. He might talk in puzzles when he's telling you something, because you know how Dr. Tom likes to talk sometimes. But, you know, he's an amazing guy to learn from. And I've known him since, 17 years old. I went with Chris for the summer when he worked USWA in Memphis, and Dr. Tom was there. So I've known Tom. He's been like a big brother, Scott, almost my entire adult life.
You know, if you buy a T-shirt from his site at ProWrestlingTees.com, he'll call and thank you.
Oh, really?
That's right.
I didn't know that. Maybe I should start doing that.
And Bruce is doing the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Prichard boys have got a nice little marketing thing going. You buy a shirt.
I've got shirts on there. I should start offering that.
You buy a shirt and you get a thank you call.
That's really nice. I like that idea.
Yeah. So there you go. That's another idea for your marketing tree.
Yeah, and everybody knows on Facebook, I probably have the most interactive Facebook page out of anybody out there. Like people, like I'll post what I'm doing for the day. I'll post what I made for dinner. You know, people ask me questions and I answer them. It's such an interactive Facebook page, and people even tell me it's unlike anybody else's page.
I think I can attest to that. I follow you on Facebook, and I got questions on this too about are you playing with us on Facebook? Are you being honest? You know, we worry about you. You know, you're getting these dilemmas and these frames of mind where we're worried about your mental health and, you know, all those things.
There's nothing wrong with my mental health. Let me ask you this: doesn't everybody get depressed once in a while? Sure
they do.
Of course, that's all it is. But no, there's no games on there. I'm not playing with people. Everything I put on there is 100% real.
Well, it's an interesting follow. I can tell you that, folks. It's totally transparent. You know what's going on here.
Yep, you know what's going on.
You got it.
Yep, you know what I do when I wake up in the morning. You know what I make for dinner. You know what I'm doing at night. I'm very open with everybody on there, and I think that's important, because I think it's important for fans to be able to relate on a personal level to an extent, you know, with a wrestler, a diva, whatever, because I think if they feel more involved in your life, they're going to be more involved with your professional life. So I think it helps. I really do. That's why I don't hold back on there.
And you don't. And so check it out, folks, on Facebook there. A lot of questions were, again, Smoky Mountain Wrestling oriented. Corny sold the library to WWE, and a lot of fans are seeing Smoky Mountain Wrestling for the first time.
I've heard about that. Yeah, I've heard it's on the network now.
It is on the network. So we got inordinate amount of questions regarding Smoky Mountain Wrestling and your appearance here on the show. Was there a special, either a run, a big event, a match? Was anything along those lines in Smoky Mountain that still stands out to you as something that was really fun that you were glad you were a part of?
Probably when Jim Cornette brought in Sherry Martel to work opposite the ring against me.
Mm-hmm.
One of the highlights of my career, easily. And in 4 days, I learned more from her than I probably did in a year of my career down there, just in 4 days.
She was really ring wise. She had good psychology. Did you guys have physicality?
Well, yeah, that's how we started. It was funny because I was only in the business for maybe 6 months, and he was bringing her in. And I go to introduce myself to her because I'm raised old school. You always go and introduce yourself to your seniors. Go right up to them. I put my hand down. I said, "Oh, Miss Martel, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I'm Tammy Fitch." And she looked at me, didn't shake my hand, turned and walked away. I'm like, what, wait, what? What's going on? She won't even shake my hand. She doesn't even like me already. What's going on? So we're going over the match, and basically all she was supposed to do was chase me around the ring a couple times. That was it. No contact, nothing. Because like I said, I was only in the business for 6 months. I wasn't used to any physical contact. So Jim Cornette didn't want to put me in that position. So we go out there, we're having the match. She's chasing me around the ring a couple times. She gets in the ring at one point. She reaches over the top rope, grabs me by the hair, yanks me up, literally pulls me up by my hair. And I'm like, what is going on? Onto the apron, leans my back over the top rope and starts hammering forearms into my chest. And I am like, what the hell is going on? All she's supposed to do is chase me around the ring a couple times. She wouldn't even shake my hand before the match. What's going on? So I said, all right, I'm just going to sell the crap out of this. I dropped down to the floor. We're in Knoxville Coliseum. And you know how Knoxville Coliseum, the way back to the locker room was probably about 1,000,000 yards. It was so long. So I'm like, all right, the only thing I can do is sell this like $1 million. And I sold it all the way back to the locker room. Like, she just killed me. I get back. And I go up to Cornette. He goes, what the hell? What was that? I'm like, I don't know. She just like attacked me. She wouldn't even talk to me earlier. She's not supposed to touch me. And she just beat the crap out of me. What's going on? Well, she comes to the back on the babyface side, and she comes running around the back of the locker room, and I see her coming towards me, and I'm like, oh shit, here she goes again. She's going to start beating on me again. She runs up to me, grabs me, and gives me the biggest hug. She goes, I knew you'd be good out there. And I'm like, what? She goes, oh, it was all a test, honey. That's all. And then she spent the next 3 days teaching me everything she could. It was amazing.
Wow.
One of the most valuable experiences of my life. But let me tell you, that first night, I was scared shitless. I really was. I had no idea why she was beating the crap out of me when she wasn't supposed to even touch me. And I was so new to the business, so only there 6 months into that company. And she's beating me up, and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do wrong to piss her off?
Yeah, you were the hot heel, right?
Yeah. I even got one of my paychecks one week from Cornette, and there was a note inside my paycheck, and he put a note. He goes, if you continue to get more heat than me, you're fired. But yeah, those fans down there, they wanted me dead. They wanted to see me die. It was bad.
Well, did you like playing a villain?
Yeah, my favorite thing is to be a heel. It really is. Did I make more money as a babyface? Absolutely, with all the merchandise and everything I had in, WWF. But it's much more fun to be a heel. It really is. I mean, there's not much of a place for a babyface ringside manager unless it's manager versus manager. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But so there's just so much more to do as a heel. I just love it so much more. It's a lot more fun. I guess I'm a natural born heel at heart. So
I'm thinking that your group of women that were kind of pioneering this diva thing back in the day,
right,
were the first women to really do significantly well on their royalty checks, their quarterlies.
Yeah, and it's all started because I was a heel. I was, the manager of the Body Donnas and everything, and all of a sudden they decided to do a bikini photo shoot with me for the magazine. So I do that, and then after that point, though, I'm going out and I'm trying to be a heel, and I'm getting cheered instead. So I'm like, okay, why is this not working anymore? I'm not a heel anymore. And it was just like it was a forced turn, and like it wasn't planned. I was still going out there and working as a heel, but I was still getting cheered like crazy and my name chanted just because of the bikini, layouts and then the t-shirts and all that stuff. And then they just, went full force babyface with me. So, but even when they went full force babyface with me, I was still that sarcastic little bitch out there on the microphone and stuff like that, but they cheered it. So it was like they brainwashed the fans by showing me in a bikini.
They like the attitude that you exuded, and,
right.
and of course we know what the guys like.
Of course.
That's exactly what they're supposed to like in that regard. So that's how that works. But
what was hard though is like when I was with, let's say, like the Smoking Guns, they're trying to be heels and people are chanting my name. So it was a little bit of like a struggle, working with them. Because they're like, oh, we're trying to get heat, but all we're doing is chanting Sonny. And I'm like, it's not my fault. It's like, I'm not going out there and acting like a baby face. I'm still acting like a heel, but they're cheering my name because of all the bikini stuff. So it's like, it was a little bit of a tug of war there with them, but there was nothing I could do about it,
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.